while after Molly died, we attended grief counseling because we were such a mess, to put it mildly. And one of our group exercises was to write out a list of words or phrases describing our loved one to others who did not know her. This is my list. Blonde, thick hair. She was born with a ton of unruly blonde hair. Fair skin, sunburned easily, great smile. She loved to be around people, especially family and friends. Red lipstick, red nail polish, red dresses. Because I mentioned when she was young that red might not be her color, she decided to find just the right shades of red that would work for her. Loud laugh. She cried quietly. She believed a person should speak up for themselves if they were treated unfairly. She often did this, and sometimes boisterously. Did not back down from a challenge. She had confidence. She loved music. She was kind to others who seemed to be alone. She was very creative. She enjoyed art and the art museum, especially Monet. She would spend passing time just drawing or sketching. She was very talented. At 8 years old, she grew tired of waiting her turn behind sisters and cousins for me to teach her how to sew. So a while later, she returned to me with her small garment. It was completed, and she said, "I figured it out myself." Many years later, she designed and sewed her own prom dresses, besides a few for friends. At her co-op in Chicago, she was especially instrumental in the design of a particular dress, and the company named the dress after her. She had a bedroom that was usually a disaster, but would clean it up about every 6 months. Molly was crazy about her niece Danielle. She would have tons of fun with her. She loved her freedom. She gave lots and lots of hugs. She truly enjoyed nature and hiking. She would call me often to chat or to ask me to meet her for lunch or at the fabric store. She absolutely loved to buy clothes and shoes and accessories, and she had many more than she needed. She shared whatever she had. She loved to party and travel. She was always figuring out ways to be independent. I am honored to be Molly's mom. On January 7th, we will celebrate Molly's 38th birthday. And my wish is that she continues to be the loving, happy, talented, creative, independent, beautiful person she was.
We were away a lot when Molly was growing up, but I remember that she was so determined to do what she wanted to do. And thank God for that, because she accomplished a lot in her life. And I do believe that God gave her to you, Ralph and Judy, because you were so supportive of her and allowed her to do all those things that she loved to do. Love you guys.
I wanted to share just a few things that are a legacy thanks to Molly. One of those is that you can have a relationship with God and not understand or fully agree with the message of particular churches. Another thing that I carry with me is to look for beauty every day, all around you, and within you. Molly taught me about gratitude, and art, and music, and what it means to be a real friend. All the beautiful things in the world, the things that you can't buy, the things that are worth standing up for. She made me a better listener. She helped me find my voice. I think of her when I see gardens and butterflies, when I look up at the night sky, when I see beautiful works of art. I know she's with me, and I'm so grateful for that, and for the happy memories that I have with your family.
My favorite memory with Molly is the last one. We were out apartment hunting the last weekend she was home on Mother's Day, the Mother's Day weekend. And I remember thinking it was weird because in high school we could barely share a room together without disagreeing or having our disagreements. But I was kind of excited that day for, hope for future, whatever.
To share some memories of Molly. Molly was a dear, good friend to me. We were friends starting in elementary school and remained friends even though we went separate ways for high school. She remained one of my dearest friends. Some of the fondest memories I have of Molly are during our years horseback riding and in 4-H. Molly was kind, she was creative, she was funny. She really had a sense of calmness about her, made her great with the horses, and she was that way with people too. She could be at ease with any type of person, and everyone was at ease with Molly. I think I miss her more the older I get because I wonder what she would be like, and I would love to be able to share all of these amazing life experiences with her. I know she'd be a great mom, great sister, great daughter, and an amazing friend. So my heart goes out to you guys as you celebrate her birthday, and I know she's in a good place and she's smiling down on all of us. So happy birthday, Molly. Love you guys.
Molly was 3 things to me. She was funny. She had an appreciation for beauty and found beauty in all things. And she was a fierce advocate. So funny. Every time I think about Molly, she has a smile on her face. And many times over our life together, she was doing something funny or silly to bring joy and laughter into our household on 9254 Evergreen. And I remember vacations where she would do something silly like hug a tree or make a funny face in a photo, and always worked hard to bring laughter into our family. So the appreciation for beauty, Molly made everyone feel beautiful all the time. If you ever doubted your own beauty or didn't see it for yourself, she was there to remind you that you were beautiful. And obviously she had beauty for art, she had talent for art, and saw the beauty in the world around her all the time. When we were growing up, we shared the same room, and she had a whole wall filled with stuffed images that she loved. And of course, then when I became old enough, I emulated and copied that and made my own wall. I always wanted to be like her. And then I don't know a single person who is close to Molly that doesn't have a story about how she was an advocate for them in some way or another. Gabe and I being her younger siblings, when we were going through those rough middle school years and early high school, man, on our worst day, she would sit with us and be fully present and remind us that we were worth anything and everything. And I've heard so many stories about other people who have similar experiences, and I'm grateful that they got to experience her in a way that I did as well. And one afternoon, she just said, "Do you want to go for a drive? Do you want to go shopping with me?" And being a younger sister, this is like everything. When your older sister asks you if you want to go shopping with her. And she took me to all the, outlet stores, went to TJ Maxx, and she bought all these funky clothes, and I went along with her and tried to play it cool the whole time. And after that, she took me on a drive to Crone Conservatory in Eden Park and told me that she often drives there, and just to be alone and have some space. And it was so special that she shared that with me, because it was a time in my life that I really needed that. And she just knew. She knew how to care for people in a way that a lot of us don't get, or we're too afraid to show up and be. And she always showed up.
I think of Molly quite often. I'm always driving to my parents, and I'm going down Evergreen, going down Sunnybrook, and those are where Molly and I hung out, and we always walked halfway to each other's houses and kind of decided what we wanted to do. And so I just have a lot of memories that way, and just playing basketball in the backyard, and even going to those PRE classes in St. Tim's. And I think, Ralph, you were our teacher one year, and I just had Molly through that tough time through middle school, and I'm just really glad I had a close friend like her. I do miss her, and like I said, I think of her often.
Obviously, we all love and miss Molly very much. My favorite memory of Molly is after I bought my condo, she came and hung out with me for a day or so, and we went to a party with some friends of mine, and her and I just hung out and talked, and it was typical Molly. She was responsible, and but she was herself, just the way that she always was. And things that remind me of Molly are obviously pennies and dimes. I think that's probably a given for most people, but also there's a set of candle holders that are bamboo, and they're nice and tall, and she brought those to me as a housewarming gift when I bought my condo. The legacy that Molly left with me is to always be myself, and to go after life, and to get the things that are of my heart. And Molly, we love and miss you.
Yeah, it's thinking about Molly, it's really hard to believe that all this time has passed since she left us. And I just got to tell you guys, she was such a wonderful, sweethearted, loving, caring person, great personality, and I miss her every day. When I look back on Molly, I have so many great memories of time spent with her. And but there are a couple that I'd love to share with you guys. The first memory was obviously when I first met her, and that was at down at UC for our first math class. I remember she was so outgoing, and I was the shy, nervous one. We talked a little bit in class, and then we actually walked out of class together. And I remember as I left her, I said, "See you later, man." And I can remember I turned around and rolled my eyes and said, "What did I just say to her?" I was so embarrassed. And, as I got to know Molly, throughout the months, I remember we laughed about that first time meeting so many times. And so, that's a very special memory for me. Second memory I wanted to share was, the wedding I went to with Molly. It was a family wedding, so you guys were all there. That was a time I really got to, meet everybody and get to hang out, get to know everyone, including Molly. And I remember having, such a awesome time. There was so much laughter, and especially with Molly and Gabe, and we were having a blast at the table we were sitting at. So I'll always remember that one. As I said earlier, I could go on with the amount of memories I have. I'm so lucky to have, gotten to meet her and be friends with her.
My favorite memory of Molly, and obviously this is something that's asked a lot, and I don't have a favorite memory of Molly. There's not one that sticks out as much more awesome than the others, because honestly they're all really awesome. Enjoy having Molly as my sister. And that's really what it comes down to, is that Molly was my friend. Molly was like my sister that I looked up to just to hang out with, and that's what we did. She, would take me to haircuts. She would, if I came in the room, or her and her friends, Trish or Beck or Sarah or the Walmart twins or any of them, she would just act like I, wasn't her little brother who was annoying. She would, treat me like, one of her friends, and see what I was up to and see how I was doing, and, and have fun with me. And then, and thus her friends were really cool to me as well. So, and if I had to, recall a time in which one of those happened specifically, it was probably, obviously it was a Saturday, because we were on our way to a Ohio wedding, and this is back when Molly was driving her gold Prelude, and she asked if I wanted to ride with her to go pick up her friend Ryan Breen, who she had met at UC, because she was studying at DAP at the time. And I didn't ask her, to ride along with her. She said she wanted to know if I wanted to come with her. Just being very inclusive and very inviting. So, and I don't remember what we talked about on the way. We had to drive up to Ohio to pick up Ryan. And then, once we picked him up, we drove to the wedding, which was in Covington. But, like I said, I don't remember what we talked about when it was just her and I. But, I remember it just being a great time. I'm sure we listened to probably some good music, because Molly had great taste in music. And, then we picked up Ryan, and she just treated me, again, like we were all part of the gang, we were all friends, and that was the most fun about Molly. She was fun. She was the coolest person in the room, and she never knew it. And maybe that's why I made her cool. I would say that Molly left a fight in me, and not like a violent fight, but like just a drive to do what was right, a drive to do what was fun, a drive to do what was adventurous, a drive just to be the best that you can be, whatever that is in the moment. Molly was very assertive, and assertive in everything that she did. In fact, Maggie even asked me when she was writing a eulogy, back in June of 2000, one of my favorite qualities of Molly, and it was that, how assertive she was, and that I hoped that I could be like her, because she always stood for what was right. And again, right in the moment, you know, and she would fight the good fight, and at times people would even call her stubborn, but, you know, everybody appreciated that about her because they knew that Molly wasn't just fighting to be fighting, she was fighting because Molly, that's what Molly truly believed.
Watching Molly grow up was just, it was so much fun. She was a happy-go-lucky little girl, and she and Heidi were just, they were so close and they had so much fun together, and we called them our little salt and pepper because Molly had the real white hair and Heidi had the real dark hair, and being the same age, they were always together. My last memory of Molly is when we saw her in Chicago, and we were doing a weekend trip, and we met up with her, and she had a cute little efficiency apartment, and it was very cool, and I think it made her feel like a big city girl, and she loved what she was doing up there. She loved the work she was doing. It was giving her a good experience, and she was getting a little bit of the little taste of city life, and we went out to a restaurant that was a very trendy restaurant, and Molly and Heidi dressed up, and it was a lot of fun, and Molly and Heidi were just in awe of everything that was going on around them, and it was a great time. We so enjoyed having that last weekend with her, and Molly will always remain in our hearts. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of her and remember and wish that she were still here. She was a light. She was a shining light, and I know that she's looking down on us and looking after us, keeping her eye on her mom and dad and the rest of the family, and we love her. We love Molly. We'll always love Molly.
My favorite memory of Molly is one Christmas we were at Ralph and Judy's. We were sitting around the kitchen table just talking and laughing. Her laugh was contagious. We all had such a great time. Molly, I remember her most because Molly leaves me dimes. And every time I find a dime, she makes me smile. And I always say, "Hi, Molly, love you." It just makes me remember her and think of her.
My favorite memory of Molly is the week before she left to go to Chicago. She had come in to the office to see Mary and I and to tell us goodbye. And she was so excited about her adventure going to do an internship with the Horny Toad Lizard Company. We all got a big chuckle out of the name of the company, and Molly was very excited about it, about getting the chance to design clothes, which was her dream. When she did get to Chicago, she would email the family, and I remember her emails telling us how much she was enjoying going to the museums and seeing the exhibits, especially the Monet exhibit, and how she was so much enjoying her adventure there, but was also looking forward to coming home. My one thing I remember the most about Molly is the fact that she always had her ruby red lips and always looked gorgeous no matter what she was wearing, whether she designed it or she picked it up somewhere else. She was not shy about trying new fashion styles, and just always seemed to have a smile on her face. And I also remember when she and her friends and cousins and sisters would come down and swim with the kids and I, and how much fun we all had together. Miss you, Molly, happy birthday.
I should probably explain the dimes for anyone who doesn't know. One night me and Molly was counting her change out on her bed. We couldn't have been any older than elementary school, maybe junior high. I can't remember exactly, but she was counting our change on her bed, and she asked me if she could trade in her nickels for some dimes. I said, yeah, sure. It's all the same, doesn't matter. She said, no, it does matter. Dimes are worth more, and they're smaller. And I'm guessing that's why she drops dimes, so.
Things that I know about Molly, she was a strong-willed child, and we have a lot of pictures around that demonstrate that her determination. And she knew what she wanted, and she went after it. And I always appreciated that in her. I was so proud of her when we went to Chicago, and the owner of the business told us that nobody, never had there been a co-op come up and speak their mind and offer their suggestions. And Molly did, and they designed this dress that she thought of, and it had a pocket and a hem because Molly hated to carry keys with her. Another thing that I've learned about her, and this is after she died, is she must have been a really good friend. Her friends still keep in contact with us, and that's important. That's important to us, and it shows what a good friend she was. They were loyal to her, and they're loyal to us.
My favorite memory with Molly is the last one. We were out apartment hunting the last weekend she was home on Mother's Day, the Mother's Day weekend. And I remember thinking it was weird because in high school we could barely share a room together without disagreeing or having our disagreements. But I was kind of excited that day for, hope for the future, whatever. Anyway, I can remember walking through a lot of houses for rent and over by UC. A lot of them had a character. They're very unique houses. I know it's very vague. I'm sorry. I can remember us walking up these steep stairs, and that's about it. In a really odd house. Or at least that's the only picture I get in my head. I should probably explain the dimes for anyone that doesn't know. One night, me and Molly was counting her change out on her bed. We couldn't have been any older than elementary school, maybe junior high. I can't remember exactly, but she was counting our change on her bed, and she asked me if she could trade in her nickels for some dimes. I said, yeah, sure. It's all the same, doesn't matter. She said, no, it does matter. Dimes are worth more, and they're smaller. And I'm guessing that's why she drops dimes, so. The keys. Oh boy, the keys. That was her thing. Never mind. Until almost exactly 1 year after she passed. But I guess now I look at it as it's her way of watching over me and making sure, I don't, get into a wreck or something. Because she held me off for a few minutes, So, if that's how she works, that's how she works. What she taught me was to be okay with you and to love you. It might have taken, walking out of college, because nothing was ever good enough. And a few other things along the way, but that is to love yourself and to be okay with things, because you'll survive and move on. And that's not yours, please. It just took me a long time to realize it. Yeah. Nothing was good enough, especially for her. At least when I was trying to write a story for her, so. I'm going to put that into action, and because I never did 15 years ago. But thanks for the memories.
Just being at the Evergreen House, and spending time as a family, growing up together, looking in the girls' room, or, being down in our room in the basement when, my dad had built the rooms for Aubrey, or, just being there makes me think a lot about it. We had a lot of great memories in that house, and we still have great memories. I would say that, passing Neo's, or, anytime I see a prelude, I think of it's just the small things. And then also, one thing that always makes me think of Molly is actually, Molly also instilled in, I think we were all very creative as children, and some of us are still very creative. Me not so much anymore, but back in my creative days, I sketched this picture of Molly in art class, and luckily my parents were awesome enough to steal it from me just before Christmas. I had it framed, and it stayed in that frame ever since, and it follows me everywhere I move, and it always stays close to a place. So this sits above my nightstand. And so every time I look at it, I think of, how awesome a sister is. And honestly, now that I have children of my own, a child of my own, and I'm certain more children to come, I can't wait to, talk to them about, their Aunt Molly and how awesome she was, and how awesome the memories are that we all still have of her, and what she does for all of us. Though she's not here with us physically, she obviously has an impact on us still daily, and all the great things that she did, and all and how she all made us feel. awesome as well, just being in her presence.
The reason we all think that Molly is so special and know that she is that somebody who can see beauty in all things, who can bring us joy and laughter, and show up on our worst day, is clearly an amazing person. And the irony is that for most of us, our worst day was the day that we lost her. But I think most of us know that she's always still showing up. Every time I have gotten pregnant, before I even take a test, she shows up in a dream. She lets me know that she's here. And I imagine that she brought my babies to me because she shows up. So, here's to all of us taking Molly's legacy with us, bringing joy and laughter to the world, seeing the beauty in all things, and showing up on people's worst day.